If you've been applying to 100 jobs a week and hearing nothing but silence, I want you to stop for a second. Because the problem isn't your resume. You're not failing. You're just caught in a speed trap that was designed to filter you out. Look, I've been in this industry for 15 years. I've seen the cycles, but what's happening right now in 2026 is different. It's heavier. You're likely doing everything you were told to do. Optimizing for keywords, using AI to polish every bullet point, and hitting apply faster than ever. And yet the silence persists. Here's the reality. 83% of resumes are now filtered out by AI automated systems before a single human eye ever sees them. 83%. That's not a hurdle, that's a wall. And because of this, the average white-collar job search has stretched to 5.5 months. 5.5 months of limbo. Have you been in that situation lately? Sending what feels like a perfect application into a black hole? It's exhausting, and honestly, it's demoralizing. But I want to tell you why this is happening. We've entered an era where more has become the enemy of better. So if the old trick of more volume is actually what's killing your chances, what are the people who are actually getting hired doing differently? Let's talk about what's actually going on behind those automated filters. We're living through a massive paradox. On one hand, industries exposed to AI are seeing a 4.8x lead in labor productivity. Everything is moving faster. But here's the part that surprised me when I first looked at the data. 60% of managers are now terrified. They aren't worried about people being too slow, they're worried about something called strategy debt. Think of it like this. When you use AI to generate work at lightning speed without truly vetting it, you're creating unvetted output that often lacks soul, context, or accuracy. It's fast, but it's shallow. And managers are starting to realize that cleaning up those fast mistakes is costing them more than the time they saved. In 2026, speed is no longer a competitive advantage, it's a commodity. It's cheap, it's what everyone else is doing, and that creates a dangerous hidden cost for your career. If your only value is that you can produce things quickly using a prompt, you're essentially adding to that strategy debt. But here's the twist. There's a small group of people turning this debt into a $450,000 career path. They've realized that the most valuable person in the room isn't the one with the fastest hands, but the one with the most skeptical mind. Let's look at what's happening in Silicon Valley right now because it's a preview for the rest of the world. There's a new tier of professionals emerging, the AI Orchestrators. These aren't just software engineers who code faster. They are people who pivoted from doing the work to governing the machines that do the work. And the market is rewarding them massively. We are seeing base salaries for these roles reaching $438,000 plus equity. Why? Because they solved the strategy debt problem. For example, I recently spoke with a senior content strategist who stopped trying to write more copy and instead started auditing AI output for global brands. She implemented a system to catch hallucinations and brand misalignments before they went live. The result? A 35% reduction in project errors, and she doubled her consulting rate overnight. They realized that in a world of infinite cheap content, the final judgment is the only thing worth paying for. It's about moving from being a producer to being an auditor. The reward for catching what the machine misses is a 56% wage premium compared to those just using the tools to work faster. Let that number sit for a second. 56%. It's the difference between struggling to stay relevant and being the most sought-after person in the building. Now, this is the part that changes everything. We are moving from an era of efficiency, which is just doing things right, to an era of deliberation. That means ensuring we are doing the right things in the first place. There's a fascinating concept called productive friction. Research from MIT shows that when teams deliberately slow down to challenge or audit what an AI suggests, they see a 20% lift in complex problem-solving accuracy. 20%. That friction, that moment where you stop and say, wait, why did the AI suggest this? Is this actually correct? Is where your value lives now. Here's the hard truth. LinkedIn's data suggests that 70% of the core skills you use today will be obsolete or radically changed within the next few years. 70%. If your current job is based on high-volume execution, you're standing on melting ice. But if you shift your focus to being the human in the loop, you become unreplaceable. The machines can generate, but they can't truly think or care about the outcome. They don't have skin in the game. You do, and recruiters are starting to get desperate for that human signal. So, how do you make yourself unreplaceable by Monday morning? First, stop branding yourself as a producer. Start rebranding as an AI orchestrator or a strategic auditor. When a recruiter asks about your workflow, don't tell them how many AI tools you know. Tell them about a time you caught an AI error that would have cost the company money. That is the human signal they are starving for. Recruiters are drowning in AI-optimized noise. They want the 1% who can explain exactly why an AI's first 10 suggestions were wrong. Second, document your productive friction. Keep a log of how your human intuition improved an AI-generated project. Roles with this kind of human-in-the-loop oversight are growing 3.5 times faster than general technical roles. This isn't easy. It requires you to be more than just a pair of hands. It requires you to be a thinker. But the people who figure this out, they're the ones getting the callbacks. They're the ones owning 2026. This is the path to that 56% wage premium and, more importantly, to career security. So, I want to leave you with a question. What's the one thing you're going to change in your workflow this week to move from producer to auditor? I'm genuinely curious. Let's talk about it. Take a breath. You've got this.